Nobody thought the Arizona Cardinals would come this far, this fast. Just 2 seasons ago, this team was fighting to survive a complete collapse. Today, they're not rebuilding anymore. They're reloaded. What's happening in Arizona right now isn't just a new chapter, it's a new book. And the craziest part? Most people still have no idea how much has changed behind the scenes. Arizona Cardinals 2.0 isn't a catchphrase. It's a full-on reset from top to bottom, with one mission in mind. Build a team that doesn't fade in December and doesn't panic in January. It starts with the decisions nobody's talking about. When Monty Ossenfort took over, he didn't just make trades. He blew up the foundation and rebuilt it with his own blueprint. A franchise that once lived off quick fixes is now built to last. From moving down and back up to grab Paris Johnson Jr., to drafting stars like B.J. Ojulari, Walter Nolan, and Jordan Birch, every pick has a purpose. Veterans like Calais Campbell, Dalvin Tomlinson, and Josh Sweat didn't come for a paycheck. They came because this locker room finally feels like a team ready to win. It's structured, stable, and shockingly deep on both sides of the ball. But here's where it gets real. Everything the Cardinals built, every move they made, now rests on one player. Because no matter how strong the roster is, it doesn't matter unless Kyler Murray figures it out. His clock just started ticking. And the pressure this time isn't about talent. It's about proving he's the one who can take this upgraded machine and make it run like a playoff team. And that's exactly where we're headed next. But before we get into that, hit that like and subscribe button for more Cardinals and all the NFL content. Let's aim for 500 likes on this video. Nobody expected Kyler Murray to still be the centerpiece of this franchise in 2025. After the injuries, the questions, and the rumors, most fans thought Arizona would have already moved on. But they didn't. Instead, they gave him weapons, they gave him protection, and they gave him the one thing he's never had in the NFL, stability. But that gift comes with a warning. Because now that everything around him is finally in place, the spotlight isn't just on his talent, it's on his results. The clock isn't ticking because he's failed. It's ticking because this is the first time he's out of excuses. This roster has never been better. Marvin Harrison Jr. enters year 2 with sky-high expectations. Trey McBride has become one of the best tight ends in football. James Conner remains the enforcer. And with Paris Johnson Jr. flipping to his natural left side, Kyler has the time to throw and the freedom to create. But creativity isn't the story anymore. Production is. Wins are. Arizona doesn't need highlight reels. They need a quarterback who can manage a 10-play drive, convert third downs, and close out games. It's no longer about the ceiling, it's about the floor. If Kyler's steady, the Cardinals don't just survive, they control games. What nobody's saying loud enough is this: if Arizona wins 12 or 13 games, and Murray looks sharp, they're not just keeping him, they're extending him. That changes everything. It resets the cap, opens the door to another wave of talent, and locks in the most important position on the field for the next 5 years. But if this team wins 6 games with Kyler playing most of the season, the organization might finally say it's time. One path leads to a long-term extension, the other leads to the unknown. And the difference between them will come down to how this brand new defense holds up when the pressure hits. That's what we'll break down next. The Cardinals' defense looks completely unrecognizable, and that's the point. For the first time in 2 decades, Arizona has a defensive front that doesn't rely on one superstar to mask everyone else's flaws. They've built something that looks dangerous on paper. But here's the twist. Nobody outside of Arizona is buying in yet. National analysts like Warren Sharp have the Cardinals ranked 28th in front 7 strength. That sounds like disrespect, but it's not. It's a challenge. Because this group hasn't taken a single real snap together yet. And when they do, they'll have one shot to flip the narrative. It starts with the veterans. Calais Campbell is back, not as a farewell tour, but as a tone setter. Josh Sweat and Dalvin Tomlinson add muscle and experience, both still producing at a high level. Behind them, the rookies are lining up. Walter Nolan, Jordan Birch, Darius Robinson, Cody Simon, every one of them is new to the league, and none of them can be labeled a proven threat yet. That's what makes this group so dangerous. They're not predictable, they're not old, and they're not soft. They're raw. And if they gel, Arizona could have one of the most disruptive rotations in the NFC. But here's what could change everything. If these young players adapt quickly, if Nolan's burst translates, if Birch shows his LSU pedigree, if Robinson locks in early, they won't just outperform the rankings. They'll flip the field for this entire team. The pass rush won't need to lead the league in sacks. It just needs to create chaos, throw quarterbacks off rhythm, and let the defensive backs capitalize. And that's exactly where the Cardinals might have their most explosive advantage waiting to erupt. Let's talk about the one leader holding it all together, the man every rookie will follow, and the one player whose voice will decide the identity of this defense. Budda Baker has never had this much help around him, and that changes everything. For years, he was the safety net, covering for busted coverages, missed tackles, and broken assignments. Now, he's the centerpiece of a defense built to work as a unit, not a patch job. And that shift is unlocking the best version of Budda we've ever seen. He's not just reacting anymore, he's orchestrating. And when your smartest player finally gets to play free, the entire defense speeds up around him. This season isn't about Budda chasing highlight hits or flashy picks. It's about him becoming the voice behind every adjustment. With so many young players learning the NFL on the fly, his presence becomes the stabilizer. Whether it's shifting the alignment pre-snap or reading the quarterback's eyes on third down, Budda's doing more than making plays. He's setting the tempo. And the scary part? He's doing it without needing to clean up for others. With players like Tomlinson and Sweat holding the trenches, Budda can attack the ball instead of chasing it. What nobody realizes yet is how much this changes Arizona's ceiling. Budda isn't just the best safety on the roster, he's the defensive brain. And now, for the first time, he gets to lead a group that can actually match his level of intensity and IQ. That makes every young player around him sharper, especially the corners. Because the Cardinals aren't just building depth, they're betting everything on a youth movement at defensive back. And that gamble could either create the NFL's next elite secondary or become the biggest risk of the rebuild. Let's dig into the group that could quietly become the heart of this entire team. The Cardinals' secondary is bursting with potential but carries serious uncertainty as it's packed with young, unproven talent. Garrett Williams, Max Melton, and Jalen Thompson are all stepping into bigger roles. But the spotlight is on rookie Will Johnson, whose rare instincts and awareness could anchor the group or expose it if he struggles early. If Johnson performs and the rest develop quickly, Arizona could have a fast, physical, and deep defensive backfield for the first time in years. But its success hinges entirely on growth, as the team looks for consistency in a position group that might define their entire season. The Cardinals didn't draft Trey Benson to replace James Conner, who still leads the backfield with toughness and veteran experience. They brought Benson in to complement him with speed and explosiveness the team has long lacked. His big play potential forces defenses to stretch wide, opening new possibilities in the playbook. Meanwhile, Greg Dortch remains a hidden weapon, with quickness, chemistry with Kyler Murray, and the ability to thrive underneath while defenses focus on Marvin Harrison Jr. With Benson rotating in the backfield and Dortch shifting between roles, Arizona's offense becomes more versatile and unpredictable, but its success still hinges on Harrison living up to the massive expectations placed on him. Marvin Harrison Jr. enters 2025 with sky-high expectations and no room for error. As the Cardinals didn't draft him 4th overall to simply contribute, they drafted him to elevate the entire offense. His ability to shift coverages and demand double teams creates space for everyone else, but he has to deliver big numbers to make it count. If he plays like a true WR1, it opens up Trey McBride, eases pressure on James Conner and Trey Benson, and gives Kyler Murray the balance he's lacked for years. But if Harrison falls short, the ripple effect could stall the offense completely, putting even more pressure on the offensive line to protect Kyler and keep the entire operation afloat. So here's the final question. Can this be the season where everything finally clicks? The weapons are here, the defense has teeth, the coaching staff is stable. All that's left is for the franchise quarterback to take control of the machine built around him. If he does, this team doesn't just surprise people. It crashes the NFC playoff picture. If you believe Arizona's ready to break out, or if you think the pressure will crack them, let us know in the comments. And if you want more deep NFL breakdowns like this one, hit that subscribe button now. The new Cardinals era is here. Are you buying in?